Do I think Dan Bilzerian's interview made some big intellectual contribution to this vexed debate? No, I don't, actually. There's a beginner's guide to the kind of ignorant anti-Semitism.
I don't care. How about that? How about let me just come out and say it, I don't care. I don't. You know why? Because I was told not to care about racism this much, right? Yeah. And Dan Bilzerian is one person. Oh, well.
I don't even think they're actual Semites. They don't have ancient Hebrew DNA, which is why DNA testing is illegal in Israel.
I mean, you're literally denying their existence now. I mean, you are just a brazen anti-Semite, aren't you?
Well, why didn't he speak to the point that he just made, right? So at the end of the day, we don't have to agree with what a person is saying. But again, like I keep telling you guys, as a black person, I hate doing that. I don't even like when people do the whole, oh, you're just racist. When somebody's bringing up a point about black people, maybe like about black culture with the rap and everything. Like I had that happen where I was on a space and a person said, you know, I think that in the black culture, there's a problem with listening to certain type of music. It promotes a certain type of living. And immediately another black person opened the mic and was like, oh, you're racist. And then immediately I opened my mic and I was like, no, he's making an assessment. Like he's just seeing what he says. We cannot just label people to shut them up. You can't do, because that's all that's for.
You hate Jewish people. You hate Israel. You hate the state of Israel, its government, everything about it. You're blaming them. You blame them in this interview for literally absolutely everything.
When you say, well, I think most of the problems today is caused by Jewish supremacy. I believe that.
I'm honestly gobsmacked that you would say all this publicly, given what a high profile you have.
Yeah, I mean, it is not a it's not a popular opinion for somebody that, you know, cares about money and cares about, you know, not being canceled. I mean, that's the problem, is you can say whatever you want against Muslims. You can be, you know, super anti-Muslim. You can talk about them and nobody cares. But if you say anything about Jewish people, you get canceled. They, you know, look what they did to Kanye. I mean, so why are they such a protected class? Let me ask you that.
I don't think they are. I think they're a class that get targeted by people like you, and indeed by Kanye, who spewed horrible anti-Semitic nonsense. But yours.
But he made Kanye's point and Dan's point, right? We just saw that. He paused because it was a lot, right? And he says, I can't believe somebody with a profile like you will say that publicly. Well, what are you saying, Piers? What are you saying? And if you're saying what I think you're saying, that's a problem.
It seems to me to be more insidious, because you're literally blaming.
So you're literally blaming. With respect, let me finish. Not the other way around.
You're literally blaming Jewish people for almost everything that's happened that you don't like in the world. That is the purest personification of anti-Semitism right there. That's what it is.
Well, when you have a religion that promotes supremacy, when you have a religion that says that you are better than other people, and when you have a religion that says it's okay to steal from other people as long as they're not Jewish, when you have a religion that says it's okay to rape people that aren't Jewish, when you have a religion that talks about having sex with, you know, kids that are...
And I'm going to stop right there. I am going to stop right there because I don't need anything getting picked up. It's a shame. It's a real shame that I have to feel like that about a comment, you know, but that's actually a comment that even on a regular day that I couldn't let go on YouTube.
I mean, why do you say that?
That's literally what Nazis would have said in World War II. They would have literally articulated their hatred of Jewish people and the reasons why in exactly the way you've just done.
I don't have a hatred for Jewish people.
You do.
I don't like a religion that says that they're better than other people. And what's that?
Well, you do. You obviously do. It's blatant. No one watching this will draw any other conclusion. I'm staggered about how brazen you've been.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't like it when people think they're better than other people. And you see that in Israel, and they're acting like that, and they're treating Palestinians like second-class citizens. They're treating them like subhuman beasts, and it sells that in their Talmud. So it says if you are not a Jew, that you are basically subhuman. And I don't think that Judaism and Christianity go hand in hand. I mean, they believe that Jesus is in hell burning in human shit, and they believe that the Virgin Mary is a whore. So I don't think those are two religions that really intersect very well. But, you know, we've been programmed that they do, and we've been programmed that it's okay and that Jews are the chosen people, and I just disagree with that. I think everybody's equal.
Do you even comprehend how this interview is going to play out?
So he doesn't even go against, like, he doesn't argue his points. He just keeps telling them, you're going to get in trouble. Stop this. You're going to get in trouble, even though I have you on here, but you're going to get in trouble. And he's a man standing there like, look, I've already made my choice to say what I have to say. If anybody hasn't looked at Palestine, I mean, the numbers, Lancet is saying that the minimal amount would be 100,000, but the maximum amount somewhere around 600,000. I have to be careful how I say things. This is not these stupid AIs, and then they'll put a flag or whatever. I don't have time for it. Okay, American money is funding this. Americans, we are funding this. This is still happening. I'm not with that at all. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% not with that. It's been a year of this, right? And it's actually expanding to Lebanon. It's just, there's no reverse gear. There's a foreign nation that is being melded into my country, and I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to take this like it's okay. And there are hate speech laws coming down the pike, even more are coming down the pike. And what he just said there about Christianity and Judaism is so true. And as a Christian, if we're talking about religion, it's true. There is no such thing as Judeo-Christian. Look, you do you and I do me. That's for all religions. There's nothing called Islamo-Christian, right? I've never heard of that. But I'm supposed to accept this Judeo-Christian. And I've had my own pastor use that term with me. Judeo-Christian. America was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Like, what is this? I don't mix religions. I wasn't brought up mixing religions at all, right? And my religion believes that Christ is king. Yes. And at one point, this term became some sort of threat and attack to a group of people, right? And now you have colleges that have taken on an anti-Semitism bill that says that we can't talk about, Jesus on the cross and how that happened exactly. What is going on?
At least when I interview somebody with incendiary views, audiences get to see those views being vigorously challenged. And free speech is supposed to be uncomfortable. So only by hearing the polar opposite of your own worldview, you can be sure that you're right and understand why you believe that you are. Dan Bilzerian went a lot further than I was expecting him to. I was genuinely appalled by what I was hearing. I started out the interview thinking it was going to be more about his apparent so-called redemption arc. As you all saw, there's no redemption arc. He's sunk into an abyss of anti-Semitism. And on that point, I've interviewed many people on both sides of the Israel-Palestine debate: professors, politicians, medics, victims, journalists, musicians, diplomats, comedians, and more. At regular intervals, I've been criticized by people on both sides. Do I think Dan Bilzerian's interview made some big intellectual contribution to his vexed debate? No, I don't, actually. But as a beginner's guide to the kind of ignorant anti-Semitism...
I don't care. How about that? How about let me just come out and say it? I don't care. I don't. You know why? Because I was told not to care about racism this much, right? Yeah. And Dan Bilzerian is one person. Oh, well. Everybody get over it. Get over it. Get over it the same way you told me to get over it. I don't care. I don't. Like, you didn't debate a single thing that he said. You just kept calling him that same term that a lot of people are getting tired of hearing. Honestly, because a lot of people got tired of hearing racism. People got tired of hearing. I said, stop calling everybody racist, guys. It's not going to work. People are going to get sick of it. They're going to tell you to shut up. They don't want to hear your problems, right? This is what's happening here. The only difference is that there are a group in this group that have the wherewithal to put together bills that get signed, and then hate speech laws come through. And unfortunately, conservatives refuse to talk about it, right? They want to leave that part alone. And look, I get it, man. There's a lot that comes with talking about this, right? You don't become no, hold on. Let me take that back. You don't become the most loved person in the crowd when you keep bringing this up. But I have to ask you, I'm a mirror to you. You people who talk about you love the Constitution, but you have not talked about these bills. You have not talked about Trump and some of the stuff that he's saying that he's going to do in college campuses. He has no right to control speech. This is coming from Donald Trump. Look at this post. Even the UN Special Committee finds Israel's warfare methods in Gaza consistent with genocide, including use of starvation as a weapon of war. Come on, okay, this is reported from the UN, United Nations Human Rights. Okay, this isn't anything I want to be a part of. And Americans, you are a part of it. Even if you didn't care about me, I don't want to be a part of it because, I don't think that starving people as a weapon of war is anything I want to be close to. This is not of my faith. We don't act like this. I'm sorry, we don't.
And defend our Jewish citizens. This is what I will do to defeat anti-Semitism and defend our Jewish citizens in America. My first week back in the Oval Office, my administration will inform every college president that if you do not end anti-Semitic propaganda, they will lose their accreditation and federal taxpayer support. Okay. Truth is, you don't have to do much after that. When you do that, it's going to work miracles. Please sit down. We will not subsidize the creation of terrorist sympathizers, and we're not going to do it certainly on American soil. We're not going to do it anywhere. Next, I will inform every educational institution in our land that if they permit violence, harassment, or threats against Jewish students, the schools will be held accountable for violations of the civil rights law. It's very important.
And when you accept the bill, an anti-Semitism bill for college campuses that says that asking a person if they're more loyal to that foreign nation is so-called anti-Semitism, or by the way, asking a person, talking about the crucifixion of Christ that was done by the Jews is somehow anti-Semitic. It's like, how far does it? So this is not for me. This is not for me. This is not for America, right? So then when somebody says they don't like what they see, what's going on, I don't like that my flag, what is this, right? I don't like it. I don't care. I'm not supposed to like it. What happened to the people who said that America's America, our Constitution? Nobody's talking about this. And it irritates me to no end. I hate it. I feel like I wake up around a bunch of obviously I don't know these people, right? But there's just so many hypocrites out here. And people want to close this will come back and bite everybody in the behind. Now, anyway, just to bring it back to Dan, he was saying, and he said, not my best interview, but I said what needed to be said. And that's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. That's all he needed to say. Hey, nobody was expecting Dan to go in and do the fact that he even said one or two words. That's it, and that's all. I support a person's right to speak. I had to ask myself that question long ago when I said, would you be okay with standing with a person from the KKK if they wanted to have a parade, and would you fight for them to have a parade for freedom of speech? And I said yes to myself. I was like, I probably would get clowned for it, but I have to understand that it's too subjective. If people aren't becoming a danger to themselves and others, they have a right to say what they want to say. This is what it is. I thought about this back in 2017 when I was a so-called leftist. And the reason why, too, I know that one day, if we put even an ounce of regulation on speech, it will come back to bite everybody in the behind. And that's where we're getting ready to go. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't. Neither did you. Even the American Jewish person, you didn't sign up for it either, because if you don't go along with that state 100%, they'll come after you too. That's the point. It's not about all of that, all of what people think it's about. But the First Amendment is not for easy speech, the speech that you like, period. I already gave my examples. That's it. But like I said, 100%, I'm not with that foreign nation. I'm not supposed to be. I don't trust. I feel it's infiltrated my country. Yes, because if this was China and Trump was standing with an American flag and a Chinese flag, then we would have something to say, right? But anyway, this video is going long enough. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.